discerning his promptings has power in your life. You don't need your own power, you need his. And when I say his promptings, how many times do we ignore the Holy Spirit? How many times do we just let the person you're supposed to be praying for, we let it go? And we don't act on the promptings of the Spirit. This is something I talk about in our small group. We were talking about how do you discern the Word of God? Like, how do you discern when he's trying to speak to you? You got the enemy, you have your flesh, and then you have God. Those are the three voices that you hear. When it's of the Holy Spirit, it's going to be positive. God's never going to speak negative upon you. He might challenge you, right? But when it's of God, that's going to be a positive voice. When it's of our flesh, those are usually selfish things, at least for me, the things that I want. God, show me this, show me that. Those are usually selfish things. And then you have the enemy is trying to get you to do wrong things. He's trying to get you to go back to your old ways, go back to your old nature. So how can you listen to the promptings of God? I'll give you four examples of this. 2 times when I did it, 2 times when I didn't. One time at Costco, there's this lady who had just had chemotherapy. You could tell that she was walking really slow, and I felt the prompting of the Holy Spirit to go pray for her. And this is one of those times where I'm like, gosh, it's really busy here. It's Costco. I don't know, God. I didn't take it. And I still remember it. What if we just acted on his promptings and I didn't pray for her? Another time, I was coming back from Anthem. I was by myself. I was in my truck, and I see this teenage girl walking on the pathway right next to the desert. And I feel the Holy Spirit, turn your truck around, go talk to her. Man, what an inconvenience. My flesh isn't going to tell me that because that's an inconvenience to my life. The enemy's not going to tell me that because the enemy doesn't want good things. But that's of the Holy Spirit. Turn around and go talk to that girl. I don't know what's going to happen to that girl. I wrestle. 3, 4, 5 minutes go by. I turn around. I go back. I pull out. I try to park in a parking lot. I try to run. I'm literally running. I'm trying to find her. Never found her. I don't know why he needed me to talk to her, but I ignored it. Then there's times where I've accepted it, and I've seen some crazy things happen. When I was playing minor league baseball, you make about $500 every 2 weeks. It's not that glorious, right? You get to the major leagues, $80,000 every 2 weeks, or $100,000, right? But I was in the minor leagues, and I remember it was Christmas time, and I go into the Nike store, and I meet this kid named Michael, and I'm chatting with him, and he's telling me about the Nikes, and I'm asking about his life. He seemed kind of down. He's telling me this whole story, and what's going on, just how he's not going to be able to make it home back to Seattle for Christmas. And in that moment, I just felt the Holy Spirit buy this man a plane ticket home. I took the opportunity, and I bought him a plane ticket so that he could go home to see his family. And I still talk to him to this day. I still talk to Michael. 8 years later, we chat on Instagram. It's crazy. So there are promptings that are coming to you. Are you going to listen? Last little story, Luke 12 comes upon me. I'm in my buddy's house. I'm up at the University of Minnesota. I'm about to go speak to the University of Minnesota baseball team. Huge moment for me. And I'm sitting there. The kids are in bed. Everybody's in bed. It's like 9:30 at night. And I'm wondering, what do you want me to speak about, God? Why do you have me here? Why have you blessed me to be here? What do they need to hear? And I hear this voice, Luke 12. I don't know Luke 12 by heart. It's not something I've really put a lot of time into studying. So I know it's not from me, right? I know it's not a verse that I'm very familiar with. I open up my Bible. I decide, okay, I'm going to look into Luke 12. And I open up my Bible, and it says, as soon as I get to Luke 12:12, it says, for when the time is right, I will tell you what to say. For when the time is right, I will tell you what to say. So discerning his promptings has power in your life. You don't need your own power. You need his. Y'all with me on that? Amen.